channel, guys. Hope you watched the first video. If you didn't, it was a detailed playthrough of the first round of Grimcoven. It was pretty long, but if you want to see that, you want to see how to play a round of Grimcoven, detailed, everything read straight out of the tutorial book, give it a watch. Hope you like it. If you do, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, any suggestions, and we're going to move forward. But we are not going to continue with that tutorial. I actually played it afterward and got my butt kicked. I reset to the end of round 1, played it again, got my butt kicked again. Did a little bit of research and found out that that tutorial is actually designed to be tough for you to lose so you can learn some of the other game mechanics. So instead of playing that and you guys watching me lose, we are going to play scenario 1 of the Convergence with the twins. Yes, if you watched my first video, I was able to get my hands on the Hunter's expansion pack, and we have the twins. The one that I was looking the most forward to playing. And we're going to team them up with the Keeper. I think that'll be a good combo. So hopefully we can get in here, beat the Convergence, get a win, have a fun time playing. Hope you guys enjoy watching. If you do, like I said, like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me which hunters you'd like to see next. Which monster you like to see me fight next. Which game you'd like to see me review next. Just leave a comment. Let me know. And without me wasting any more time, let's go play some games on the table. Okay, guys. Welcome back to Games on the Table. And we are going to start round 1 of the Convergence. Let me start off by saying I tried playing this scenario. A lot of mistakes were made. I had some cats get up and mix up the board. I tried to reset it. I made some mistakes on the rules. And I tried to fix it. I tried to do different things. And I finally decided we're just going to start from the beginning. So this is try 2 of scenario 1 of the Convergence. The good thing is I have some more of the rules down. I got a little bit of experience. So hopefully we can pull something out here. We're going to start off by talking about one of the expansions I was able to get my hands on. You see it right there? It is the personal stories for the hunters. It basically allows you to turn it into a semi-campaign type thing. Each hunter gets a book with entries in it. At the end of each entry, it gives you a mission. You accomplish the missions, you get rewards. It could be new evolutionary cards. It could be new starting armor, new starting weapons. So we're going to go from there. We're just going to play the missions. I'm not going to read the scenarios to you unless you guys want to hear it. If you have no plans on getting this expansion and you'd like to hear the entries, let me know in the comments. I'll go back, I'll read, we'll catch up to wherever we are, and we'll go from there. I will tell you the missions that each character has. First off with the twins. They have to remove 2 poisons from a single enemy on a single turn. Not the toughest mission, but it's going to take a little bit of work, and I need to remember to do it. And then the Keeper. The Keeper mission is a little bit more specific, so I'm going to read that one directly. At the beginning of the Lament phase, have it for at least 4 hunger. Now, what I've gathered about the Keeper is that he uses hunger. I don't know whether he uses it to damage, to move, to avoid damage, but there's supposedly ways that he uses hunger. In the first try, I never really saw anything like that. Maybe I just didn't draw the right cards. I didn't get far enough. So we're going to keep our eye out for that and then hopefully accomplish his mission. Oh, let's see. Anything else we need to go over? All right, before we switch to the board, I am going to talk about what's on the board. You know what? Let's go ahead and switch to the board. You don't actually need to see the cards. There we go. There's the layout of the board. We have the Convergence down here at the bottom. We have the tornado up there at the top, which I'm assuming is kind of a feature that comes with the Convergence. We have our 4 spawned minions on limit rifts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Got that one there, this one here, and that one up there. We have our 3 treasures here, there, and up at the top beside the tornado. We drew 3 features onto the board. The first one being the carriage. I can get a hunter here, interact with the carriage, read the secret card. The first time I did the playthrough, I did not do that, so I still don't know how that works. Haven't done it. The second feature was coffins. Put one here. And then I got to put 2 more on the 2 closest lament rifts. I had 3 options. I decided to stay on this back wall over here. And the first time that I tried to run this scenario, I did open one of the coffins. I got a companion. Wasn't super impressed with him. And I'm hoping that there's some better cards in there, but maybe it's all companions. I don't know. We'll find that out. I'm sure I'll interact with them at some point. And the last little feature we got was Busy Minions. This is actually a very cool card. You got a little token over here underneath these 3 minions. You put the token down, you put 3 minions on it. Those minions are busy, I guess. They do not activate. They just sit there. They do nothing until a hunter either attacks them or moves within 1 space of them, and then they just become regular minions. Remove the little token, and they'll just act like any other minion. In the first run through that I played, I thought that would be a nice, quick, easy way to get some lament. But the game was putting so much pressure on me, I did not get to do that. I never interacted with those minions. So we'll see how that goes. I may just leave them there. It's a good way to tie up 3 minions. Now you can never spawn more than 5 on your minions on the board. A little less pressure. Or if I start really beating the game, we'll go at it and we'll take those guys out, get an easy 3 lament, and move on. Now let's talk about the 3 terrains that are on the game. We have the river flowing down the center, well, almost the center of the map. Starting up there where the tornadoes is flowing down to end around here where the convergence is, and that is the right direction of flow. If a hero steps into that river, they will extinguish, I believe, 2 burns, gain 2 curses, and move 1 space down the river. So if you're moving and you step on that river, you remove any burns, gain 2 curses, flow 1, and then you continue your movement. It also affects minions and the elite. Now for them, for the elite, it will heal 2, floating 1 down the river. For the minions, it's going to float them 1 down the river. Then let's talk about the cemetery. The thing about the cemetery is, I don't think I'll be interacting with that terrain. Like I said, this game was putting a lot of pressure on me, and I just don't like the risk involved with interacting with the cemetery. Basically, you have to spend a dagger or an agility to roll 1 of the monster attack dice. And then if you roll the rare, which is 1 out of 12, you get to draw Secret Card 9. Now, I don't know if Secret Card 9 is any good or not. I never did it, and even if I had, I probably wouldn't have rolled that. If you get the uncommon symbol, which is the little star-looking thing, you take 2 damage, gain 1 lament, and spawn 1 minion in 0. So basically, you get 2 damage put onto your character. You get a nice little lament, but then you got a minion also in your face. Now, if it's your turn, obviously, and you interact and you're ready to take out that minion, okay, nice 2 free lament, but you also took 2 damage for your trouble. And then if you draw the common one, you take 1 curse, which you now have to deal with, and you get 1 lament. To me, that is just not worth it. It's not worth interacting. Spending a turn, which that's no big deal, I guess, but then losing a dagger or an agility symbol, I don't think that's, to me, it's just not worth it. I guess, depending upon what secret card 9 is, maybe one day I'll figure that out. But then the one that I don't think I took big enough advantage of, and that is over here on the left side of the board, the forest. So we got the cemetery on the right, the forest on the left, and the river flowing kind of down the middle. And we got the holy tree. And it says any number of times per hunter phase, you can discard either a magic or a defense to gain 1 tactic and heal 1. It's a nice little 2-for-1, especially if you have one of those that you have nothing else to spend it on. The problem I had, like I said, this was underused by me, I think, in the first time I tried this. So I have to remember about this card. I think that's everything that we need to talk about on the board. I believe that's it. As far as the armor and weapons, I took the only weapon that the keeper gets. He doesn't get any options. I took the self-loathing armor. It's got the ability to gain hunger. So if I could figure out how this guy actually uses hunger, that's a nice way to gain it. It also gives him an opportunity to get a shield and move 1. Because that's his other big downfall of this guy is he's slow. His movement is 1, so he sprints 2. So he is very slow. Having some extra ability to move, I thought was nice. Over here on the twins, we took the armor that allows the shadow and the assassin to swap places. They can either refresh an ability or refresh dice, and if they're far enough apart when they swap, they can do both. Also, at the top of that armor, another ability to move, and the ability to gain a 2 shield. Another thing that I think is the weakness of the twins is the low hit points. So anyway, time they can gain a shield, that's nice. That is going to be useful. And then I took the Blade Whip. And the reason I took the Blade Whip is because it allows the assassin to attack within 0 to 2. It also gives her the ability to discard poison to back an enemy up. Give her a little bit of room. It doesn't say minions. It doesn't say elite. It says you may discard 1 poison from this enemy to move it 2 spaces. So I think that could be helpful. And then the last part, the shadow can deal 2 damage and 1 poison. So it starts using their poison ability right off the bat. What's left? I don't think there's anything left. We'll go over the elite when it spawns, which will be on the elite phase this round. I can't think of anything else we need to cover. So I say we get started. Let me take y'all. I'm going to try and do better also of swapping this camera around. So the first thing we have to do is we are making the keeper the first player. So we're going to roll the keeper's dice. Now, one thing about the keeper is once I get him his first little lock, is I want to get him a green dice. He has, like I said, movement is his downside, and with no green dice, it's going to make sprint a little bit more difficult to use, and he needs it. All right, because as you see here, we got no agility. This was not a very good roll. We got a lot of magic and 2 daggers. Let's roll for the twins. I do think I was supposed to place them first, but we'll look at that in a minute. Once again, not a good roll. Some agilities, a couple of magics, and a dagger. Okay. Let's go back to the board. And one last thing we got to talk about, that's the portals. The portals start out here and over there. And I got one portal that I got to place myself. The last time I placed it here in the witch's hut. And I'm trying to decide. I do want it on this side of the river. But you're so limited here because of the busy minions. That puts all these squares out. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a little bit of, I'm going to put it right here on this lament rift. So I can have somebody actually spawn right there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that advantage to spawn the keeper right on the space of this minion. He'll be able to attack right away without having to worry about his movement, which he's going to be very restricted on. Then I can take him straight across this board to him. Now we have to think about the twins. Putting the twins at the top of the board puts them very close to that tornado. I'm not exactly sure what the tornado does, but I don't think I want to be that close to him. The other option is here. Now, what I could do is put them here. They got an easy kill here. I can maybe take the shadow that way, because the thing about the shadow is all the enemies ignore the shadow. If he can either get to that minion or get to that lament, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Because the shadow and the assassin spawn together. They're going to spawn over here. Okay, so there we are. So, the keeper being the first player has to kill that minion real quick. Double daggers. Deal 1 and 0 to 1 on a kill, gain a sword piece. So we're going to do that. We're going to spin this double dagger. Alright, here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to take you to the keeper real quick. And we're going to spend his double daggers on this ability right here, which allows him to do damage. Take you back to the board real quick. To the guy in his space, taking it out. They only have 1 hit point, so that's all we need. Which will get him a lament. So all I did there was put a lament on his character sheet. No need to go back to his board. And now he has to figure out what he wants to do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend one of these magics, probably the purple one, to run, which is only 1 space for him. This is his weakness, guys. Start heading toward the convergence. All right, so that's his 2 actions. He attacked and he moved. Now it's time for the assassin and the shadow. I'll take you to their board while we plan out their moves. All right, well, we know there was the 1 minion that's in the square next to him. Can the assassin attack someone that close? Yes. For 1 dagger, they can do 1 damage and 0 to 2. We have that. Then we can sprint with this. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to spin the 1 dagger to do 1 damage and 0 to 2. Take out this guy. Get 1 lament. Then we're going to spend this single agility on sprint. All right, let's take a look at that, guys. Let's go to the board while we make our move. Okay, I am going to, I think, leave the assassin there because their sprint is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he cannot pick up Lament, so we're going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't know if we have the dice we need to attack that guy, but that's their 2 moves, so it does not matter. That is their turn. Now we go back to the Keeper, who has a dagger symbol and 2 magic symbols. Now, with the 2 magic symbols, he does have an ability to do 2 damage and 0, which there's nobody within 0. So that is really no help. The 1 dagger on his armor, he can take 1 and gain a sword piece. I have no real reason to do that. I really would like to sprint. So I'm going to spend this black dice onto tactics. Gain a tactics, and with that tactics, I'm going to reroll both of these dice. Okay, so let me take y'all to the dice cam. Alright, let me take you right back to the Keeper real quick. So basically, he just spent this magic symbol to reroll these 2 dice. Now, he needs an agility. The odds are against it, but I'm hoping to at least maybe get the double daggers, because that will allow him to move. Oh, a double daggers and an agility. That is very good. That is very good. So we are going to spin that agility to sprint. All right, so that will allow him to move 2. So let's take y'all to the Keeper real quick. We put his 1 dice on sprint. So now he can move 2. 1, 2. Make himself the obvious target for the Convergence. Now, that's his 2 turns, so let's go back to the twins. Let's go to the board real quick and take a look at their situation. All right, we got the assassin sitting here pretty, and we've got the shadow over there with that minion. Now, the only attack dice that we have requires either a double dagger or a double agility, which we have. And the shadow deals 2 and 1 poison and 0. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to move this double agility here, kill off that minion. Fix our little thing there. That gains a 2nd lament for our twins. Okay, now what? They can run, which allow movement of 3. Or let's go ahead, spin this purple dice on tactics to get a tactic. And then we'll decide if we want to run. That's their 2 moves. So that's easy. So now we're back on the Keeper, who only has a double dagger. Now he can spin this double dagger onto single dagger, which I think I'm going to do, which is going to allow him to take a damage to gain a sword piece. He's not going to do the other one. He's not going to take the hunger to gain another sword piece. I think he's going to stay there, and then he is going to pass. So that's all he did, guys. He spent his one double dagger on his armor to gain a sword piece. Now we go back to the twins, who have a magic symbol. Nothing they can do with a magic symbol. Nothing, absolutely nothing. They can run, so that's really their only real option. They can run, which is all about placement. Well, here's what I'm thinking. I can move 3, 1, 2, 3, and put the shadow here. But what I think I like to do, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and spend this one magic symbol on run. And I'm just going to use it to back up to this portal. Now that gives a lot of options. I can swap those two places if I need to. Or I can sprint and take either one of them, or both of them actually, through a portal and come up somewhere else. And then the twins are going to pass. And that's going to be their turn. Yep, nothing we can do from there. Okay, so now we go to the villain phase, guys. Let's go look at the villains. As you can see, there's my event cards, my minions, my elite, and then my convergence board. And we're going to start with this here event. And we got Overwhelming Fatigue. Place 1, Lament, and Rift 7. Okay, that's there. Each hunter places 1 stun token on their run and sprint action with a dice on them. Okay, well that's not good. So we get a stun. I'm going to move the dice out of the way. On both of his and on both of hers. That's going to limit. That's going to make things interesting. And we're not fighting the Graveyard Dragon, so that's one event down. Okay, minions. We only have the 1 minion on the board, because remember, busy minions do not activate. If there's 100 0 to 3. 1, 2, 3. There is. Move 3 and attack a hunter in 0. Well, I think this minion is going to get screwed. Because he's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Slide down river. And then go 3. Move back up river. And then attack all hunters in 0 with 2 dice. Well, this is bad luck for him then. And then we go to the elite. Take off his little token, which is going to spawn our elite. And I will show you that real quick. Let's read it. On the last one, spawn the enemy elite on a portal space closest to the grief mound. I'm going to take y'all to the camera view real quick so y'all can see this guy. Hopefully it's still up. All right. This is something I'm going to have to deal with, guys. This camera, for some reason, wants to turn off every 30 minutes. So I'm going to have to turn it off and back on every 30 minutes so I can figure out, oh, look at that glare. That is not good. Not exactly sure where that glare is coming from. Oh, there it is, I think. No, that's not it. These are the things I've been dealing with, guys. Glare. How's that? Is that better? No, not really. A little better, maybe. Turn this light a little bit more. Still a glare. Not exactly sure where that glare is coming from, guys. Sorry. Let me lift it up to the camera. All right. So that's him. This is the things I've been dealing with, guys, is glare. He's going to spawn in the portal closest to the Griefbound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. Either one. So it's my choice. I'm going to spawn him over here. Because what I think is going to happen, I think the Griefbound is going to move. I think he's going to end up here with the Keeper. And if that's the case, we can go through those portals, come up over here, kind of keep the Elite isolated over here. Or at least that's the hope. Okay. So that's the Elite. And so the next is the attack. Use the first attack card, which is Hunter Throw. Focus, move 4. Yep, he's going to move. 1, 2. So he's only going to move 2 out of his 4. Let me back him up a little bit so he can fit in there. Let's turn and face this hunter. Deal 3. He's not got nobody in 0 to 2 to 3. Each hunter in 0 to 1 moves in a line as far away from the Griefbound as possible, taking 1 unblockable damage for each space. So he's actually going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces all the way back to here. Get this free lament though, but take 4 damage. That was not good. All the way down to 11. And that is it for Hunter's Throw. So basically, I guess he get up and just knock the Keeper back. This gets discarded, but still in the game. We update the attack track. Move this over to Special. And attack all hunters in 0 to 1 with 3 dice. Can't do that. And then move 2. Wait, how far did that say? 0 to 1. So he's going to move 2. He's going to move into this space. All right. And that, my friends, is the enemy phase. Other than getting knocked back, that was pretty good. Oh, and the stun token. I don't like the stun tokens. So, Trauma Resolve Corruption. Alright, here we go with the corruption cards. Since nobody has any corruption, we should get some good stuff here. No hunger. Gain a 2 shield or discard 2 stat. He's going to discard his 2 status tokens. Easy, easy decision. Could have used the heal, I guess, but he needs to move. He really needs to move. Not a heal. He could have gained 2 shield. He could have used that too, though. Move over to our twins. Heal 2 or discard 2 status tokens. Do the same thing. Very, very nice. All right, discard that one. Did they say anything about... Nope. All right. So that takes care of that. Then, spend the points. Don't worry about keeping these dice perfect. Going to spend one to move up to the first lock. Draw 2 cards. I really wish I could figure out where this glare is coming from. I might try something else here in a minute, guys. Oh, still on the dice cam? So that's not bad. I'm going to try and point my light straight up. So just give me a second, guys. See if I can bounce the light off the ceiling. And then down onto the table. How was that? Do the same thing with the other one. Bounce it off the ceiling and down onto the table. That doesn't look too bad. Yeah, that don't look too bad. All right, let's try that. Okay, let's see what the keeper drew here. First card. Attack from above. I've seen this card. I do not like it. Yeah, so we're not even taking that card. We're not even going to consider that card. And defensive stance. For a double shield or any dice in a sword piece, gain 4. You may spend 2 sword pieces to gain another 4. And it has a shield, so you can have 2 4-slot shield tokens. Oh, that's good. That's good. But his biggest disadvantage right now is no green dice, so it makes movement hard. So we're going to not take either one of those. And we are going to get him a green dice. Then he's going to spend his other one to advance from 1 to 2 corruption. The twin is going to spend 1 to draw 2 cards. All right, that's what we have. These the same. What is with these getting the same cards? Stab the torso. For a double agility or double shield, which I don't have a blue dice. Deal 1 damage, 0 to 1. Deal 1 additional damage for each condition below. If the enemy has poison. Now, I don't want this. I don't want these either. Now, I can spend that to draw 2 different cards, but I don't think I'm going to, because I do think at this point in the game, getting more dice to get more options is more important. So let me bring up more dice to see what we think we need. We've got 3 greens, a purple, and a black. So we don't have a blue. But looking at her abilities, she has nothing that even uses shields. So we're going to take a black dice. We are going to take a second black dice. Okay. Let me take y'all back to the board. That's kind of boring sitting there watching that. Let's take y'all back to let's go to the main screen so y'all can just see a little bit of everything. All right. So we have spent... Oh, I didn't remove her. She's going to spend her last one to go from 1 to 2. Refresh all dice, check. Check. And then we get to roll. All right, so we are back at the beginning, guys. We are back at the beginning of the game. Roll dice. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to take a little break, take a look at this video, make sure everything's good, and then we're going to continue on. I will be right back. All right, guys, let's get round 2 started. first things first. Pass our starter token over to the twins. Let's roll their dice. Let's hope for a little bit of luck here. Right. Got us some daggers. Plenty of movement. And a magic. This is a good roll. This is a pretty good roll. Since she has no use for shields, she didn't roll any. We'll see what she can do. Let's roll the keepers real quick. All right. Got a nice shield, a double magic. Not really what I was hoping for. 3 daggers. And an agility. All right. Nice little mix. Let's take it back out to the main board. We'll be playing this out. All right. So let's see. Up first are the twins. All right. The twins have the elite by them. In this elite, if there's a minion on the map, and I do believe the only minion is this one. He's going to leap. Teleport to a space with a minion close to any hunter. Kill one minion 0 to 1. Attack any hunter 0 to 1 with 2 dice. Alright. So at this point, based on that, he's not going to be a huge threat to the twins. But I still would like to take it out. Because I do believe in this, the next phase of moving that dial is going to be spawn. So there will be some minions on the board. So let's see what the hunter can do. Not the hunter, sorry. Twins. The assassin can deal 1 and 0 to 2. Sorry about that. We've got a cat that doesn't want to listen. And then the shadow can deal 2. So we got 3 points of damage and we need 6. So that's not quite enough. I don't see any other way to do any more damage with these characters. Now we do have some potential here, but I don't think it would work. That would be use the assassin's ability to deal 1 and 0 to 2 in line of sight. Discard a poison which you don't have from this enemy to move 2 spaces. Then I could use this ability with a agility and a magic. Swap the shadow and the assassin's position on the map. And they are more than 3 spaces apart. So I could refresh this ability and regain that dice. Then the shadow could do this. That would give me 3 damage with the potential to do this one again for 4 damage. Still not quite enough. Still 2 damage short. Not to mention that the assassin, well, she could sprint through that portal, so she could do it. All right, let's take a look at this. In order for her to do that, she would need a dagger, which we have. And in order to swap positions, we would need an agility and a magic, which we have. And then for the shadow to do its damage, he would need either this double agility or this double magic. Then, in order to sprint through the portal, we would need this agility. And then in order for her to do her damage again, she could use this double dagger. So we can do that and do 4 points of damage to this thing. Now that sounds great, with the exception of that we're still 2 points of damage away from killing it, and I see no way in order to do that. and both characters would be in this square. Which, once again, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. Okay, that sounds like a plan. 4 points of damage. But then now let's take a look at what the keeper might do. Let me move these out of the way. Don't need these books right now. All right, the keeper's in a square with the convergence. Let me organize this a little better, guys. Cats, always moving stuff. Let's take a look at this first ability here. He's going to move 1, which he wouldn't need to do. Focus. All tornadoes move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would move the tornado. Where is our guy? He's in the square, right? No, where is he? Oh, he's up there. Oh, I thought he was in front of this thing. So he's already with the tornado. He would not move because then he would deal. Oh no, that's this guy. All tornadoes will move. So the tornado would not move. So the whole focus thing really isn't that important on this one. And then he does 3 each 100 and 0 to 1, which would be nobody. Attack 100 and 0 to 1 with 4 dice, which once again would be nobody. If no hunters are attacked, resolve special, which would allow the tornado to attack the keeper. So that is what the keeper's facing. And he can't hurt the tornado. So the keeper right now is in an awkward spot. He doesn't want to move within 1 space of those guys without acting, unless he thinks he could kill them, which I don't think he could. And not to mention, he would be then surrounded. So he needs to move up. You go 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to that portal. But this puts the keeper in a position where he's not doing anything this turn. Oh. He's not going to even be able to attack. Oh boy, this is tough, guys. He has the double magic, and he has the double daggers that he could kill 2 of those 3 right off the bat. Well, not right off the bat, but he could kill 2 of those 3, and they are only 2 spaces away, which is a sprint, which he has. But if he does do this, he'll have one of those minions still there. He'll have the tornado, which will move in. He'll have the convergence, which will be moving in. He'll have this guy, and that thing will jump right on top of him and do damage. The keeper is in a really bad spot, guys. I'm trying to figure out a way around this. The keeper really would need a double shield, which he does not have. But he could spend a sword piece and place one stun on this action to gain a 2 and move 1. He has a sword piece. That might just be the best bet for him. He might just have to suck it up and hope for the best. I just don't think we're going to kill anything this round other than some minions. And it also means that, unfortunately, for the twins, I don't see them getting any lament. Because they're not going to be able to kill that thing with what they have. Oh boy, this is tough. This is really, really tough. All right, well, they have no real choice here, so what we're going to do, we might as well just make the best of it. We are going to spin one dagger, so the assassin can deal one. Hold on. Would there be any advantage to moving that thing 2 spaces? I don't see how that would help me any. Because he's going to do that leap thing. I can't get him close enough to the keeper to actually attack him. So yeah, we're just going to spin this one dagger to do 1 damage, 0 to 2. Where's my damage token? There it is. So we're going to put that on the elite. That's one action. All right. Now, for an agility and a magic, I can swap places between those two. That'll allow me to swap. And then, because they were more than 3 spaces apart, I can refresh one ability and re-roll 1 dice. This is the one we want. We're going to refresh that ability and then reclaim this dice. And we get a shield out of it. All right. So that is the twins' 2 turns. All right. So the twins are doing what they're going to do. Like I said, unfortunately, I think this is going to be a setup round and a let's survive the worst of it round. All right. So I need to move the keeper 2 spaces. Unless his attacks can be done within 1. Let's see. Now, they're one of them 0 and one of them 0 to 1. So he has to move into, he has to sprint. So he has the 1 agility to sprint him 2 spaces. 1, 2. All right, once you do that, this token goes away. And these guys are now regular minions. All right, so that is off the board. Okay. Next action. All right, we're going to go ahead and spin the double magics to do 2 damage and 0. So he's going to take out this guy. That will give him a lament. And then that will move the turn back to the twins. All right. Now we're going to spend the double agility to do 2 and 1 poison and 0. So we're going to do 2 damage. All right. So let's put 3 onto him. And a poison. Okay, so that's their first move. All right, so the next thing that we have to do is sprint through that portal to get back down here. So we're going to sprint. She's going to go through the portal. That's 1. Okay. Her action that she's going to use is 0 to 2. So she can actually move. That's 1. She could go. No, she can't go with them farther than 2. So I was going to think I could get her to get that lament over there. I wanted to stay away from this. So I may move her 2. That's 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. She's still within 2 of this guy. And we can move 4. So I may move him this way. That way, he is getting closer to the convergence. All right, so that's their 2 turns. Now let's go back over here to our friend the Keeper. His next ability he could either spend 2 daggers or a sword piece and a dice to do 1 damage, 0 to 1. Okay, I've got the double daggers. And that would save me a dagger that I could actually kill the 3rd one. Okay, guys. What does this sword piece up here do for me? Take a damage and gain a sword piece. Alright, guys. I'm going to look up this hunger call on the Keeper first. The fact that it's called hunger call makes me wonder if he has to have hunger in order to do it. So just give me one quick second. We're going to look this up. Something I probably should have done about this ahead of time. Sorry. All right. Don't see anything on it right now. All right, give me just 1 second, guys. Okay, the Keeper Hunger Call is a mechanic that allows players to replace the action they're currently performing with a hunger token. This can only be done by select hunger tokens as an alternative to the action they are about to take. This mechanic adds a strategic layer to the game, as a player can choose to use hunger tokens to gain an advantage in combat or make a critical decision that could affect the. I still don't get it. All right, guys, give me 1 second. We're going to check something out. I'm going to pause this game real quick, and I am going to come back after I figure this out. Okay, guys, even though it's called Hunger Call, it really does not have nothing to do with hunger. His special ability is just the ability to spend his sword pieces to save dice or to get extra action. So, for a sword piece, he can do this, and how much damage he does is based on the number of sword pieces that he has. Okay, so that being said, it's the most sword pieces I can have is 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 sword piece, and then I can either gain a sword piece or move and resolve. All right, my movement is 1, so I can move up to 1. I'm going to move 0. On 1 to 3 sword pieces, deal 1 and 0. So I'm going to deal 1 to this guy. That will give me another one. And that is his 2 turns. He's down to 2 sword pieces and a shield. Okay, so now we're back over here. And what we're going to do is we are going to spend this double dagger on this particular ability. Assassins deal 1 and 0 to 2 in line of sight. I can discard 1 poison to move the enemy 2 spaces. I don't see a need for doing that. But we do get to do 1 more damage. Put him at 4. Like I said, I see no reason to move him 2 spaces because he's going to do that leap thing all the way up there, even though he is going to kill that minion. So that minion will not be there. So let me take a look at his ability real quick, see what's going to happen. Oh, the minion phase will happen before the elite, so they are going to do something. This one is. If there's 100, 0 to 3, there's not. Otherwise, run. Move 3, gain a 2 shield. So he's going to move 3. 2, 3. He's going to get here. And then this guy, 0 to 1. So he's still going to do the leap thing. I don't see no way around that. Because there's no way to kill that other minion. So there's no reason to move him. So now we're back on to the second turn. What we are going to do is we are going to use our assist over here to the keeper to give him a shield. That's their 2 turns. And that's probably going to be it for the twins. Because they can't even use the forced ability because they don't have a thing. They could get a tactic out of it. But since they don't need a heal, they already have a tactic, so there's no reason to do that either. Alright, so we're back to the keeper. Okay, keeper. We're going to spin the double daggers on this ability to deal 1 and 0 to 1, and on a kill, gain a sword piece. So we're going to gain our second sword piece because we're going to kill this guy, gain a third lament. Then, for our second ability, we're going to spin the double shields to gain a 2 shield and move 1. Alright, so we gain a 2 shield and we can move 1 space. Okay, we really need to consider. You don't want to move into the river. We just don't want to deal with that. I don't think... Oh, man, this is tough. I don't think we're going to be able to get away from the tornado, but maybe we can back up enough to get away from him. So I'm going to try backing up 1 space just to see how that goes. That is his 2 actions. Move over here back to the twins. They have no dice. Nothing to do, so they pass. Back over here to the keeper. Alright. Keeper has nothing he can do. He could spend some sword pieces to do some things. He can spend 2. But there's nothing in 0, so there's no reason to. So he's going to pass. Okay, so that's a double pass. That is it. Alright. So now we go back up to the villain phase. I'm going to take you to the villains real quick. Try to keep up with this a little better. There we go. The villains, the first card. We have Burning Lament. Place 1 lament in Lament 6. Right, anybody see 6? I see 8. Is this 6 up here? Oh, nice. That is very nice. Okay, each hunter may discard any number of lament. Then each hunter chooses 1. Gain 1 burn for each lament you have, or gain 3 corruption, ignoring locks. If fighting the Convergence, which we are, each hunter with lament chooses 1. Move 2 toward the Griefbound, or gain 3 burns. Ugh. Okay. Since the twins are first, she doesn't have no lament to get rid of. So she will gain 1 burn for each lament she has, and that's going to be it. And for each hunter she has a lament, so she doesn't have to worry about the second part. Okay, so now the one who has to make the decision. He is going to gain 3 corruption, ignoring locks. 1, 2, 3. He doesn't want burn. Okay. If you are fighting a convergence, each hunter with lament chooses 1. Move 2 toward the Greek bound or gain 3 burn. That move back may not have helped. I moved back for a reason. And I know I've got the 2 shield. He's already taken damage. I'm going to take the 3 burn, guys. I'm going to see if I can somehow deal with this before it hurts me. But we're going to take the 3 burn. Alright, let's take you to the main board real quick. Alright, and so that takes care of another event card down. 2 down, guys. And we haven't attacked the Convergence not 1 time. That's not good. Okay, action. If there's a hunter in 0 to 3, which there is not, we only have 1 minion left on the board, and that's this guy. Skip. Otherwise, run. Move 3, gain a 2 shield. Okay, so the closest hunter is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either way. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could get right up there by that hunter. 5. So he's actually 1, 2, 3. All right, so this is actually faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could get right in that space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He cannot get to her, so he's going to head toward him. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, I'm just counting. He's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, he's going to gain a 2 shield. Deal 1 damage and 1 stun to each hunter and 0 to 1. None. So, okay, so that's it for them. All right. Next phase. Let's bring out this here elite who has 4 damage and a poison token. If there are minions on the map, yes, he's going to do Hungering Leap. Teleport to a space with a minion closest to any hunter. There's only 1, so that makes that easy. Kill 1 minion in 0 to 1. So he's going to outright kill this minion. Not sure if that's good or bad. Okay, kill 1 minion 0. Attack all hunters in 0 to 1 with 2 dice. So nothing. So this actually saved me from taking damage then by staying back there. Alright. And so that is the elite phase. Okay, we move up and we deal with this. Chain Lightning. Move 1. Okay, I do believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to move 1 straight up for the keeper. Focus. All tornadoes move 4. So he only needs to move 1 to get into the space with this guy. Attack 1 hunter in 0 to 1, which there are none. If no hunters are attacked, resolve a special. Okay, we've done the special before. Activate all tornadoes, attack all hunters in 0 to 1 with 3 dice, and then move 2. So he's not going to move 2. He's going to attack with 3 dice. All right, let's see this. Let's go to a close-up of the dice cam. Hoping that camera's still focused. Nope. Sorry about this camera, guys. I have got to figure out how to keep this from turning off. I did not expect that. Alright, guys, we're going to have to cancel this camera. I think I messed it up. Give me just 1 second. Alright, got it back, got it back. Just got to get it plugged in and we'll be good to go. Alright, sorry about that. Let's roll these dice. We have 2 uncommons and a common. Alright, we didn't get the rare. So deal 1 damage for each common. So he's going to take 1 damage. 1 damage, 1 damage. You know, I think I'm going to spend his shield token on that 1 damage and not take it. Alright, and so that, my friends, is that attack card. Let's refill the attack track, slide that over, get a new one. And we resolve this, which goes down to spawn. Alright, so we're going to spawn 2 minions. There's none on the board, so it's going to be 1 and 2. 1 and 2. That is the question here. There's another question I have. Was normally when they say spawn, it shows how many minions to spawn. Like I'll say number of group times 1 times 2. This one just shows people, so I'm assuming 1 per person, but I'm going to look that up real quick. Alright, where is the spawning minions? Minions, page 15. Alright, this is one thing we're not seeing here. Is they don't even talk about step 5. See spawning minions on page 15. Yeah. When affected, a game instructs you to spawn a number of minions. It's usually tied to the number of hunters, most commonly due to time track. Okay, so it's it'll say times 2 or times whatever. I don't think this shows a times. I think it just says spawn. Yeah, and there's nothing that has anything on there, so we're just going to spawn 2. I see nothing that says times 2. All right, and I do believe we are done with the enemy phase. So let's go to the main shot. All right, we got our 2 new minions on 1 and 2. All right, guys, if it did that wrong and it's supposed to be times 2, let me know, because that would put 1 on 3 and 4. But like I said, I see nothing on there that says spawn anything. Times 2, it just says spawn. I really want to get this right. I really don't want to cheat the game. So let's look this up once again. One more thing to look up. Yeah, I know, guys. I should have this figured out by now. But I want to get this right. I think we're off to a good start. Okay, the number of minions used by is typically 2 times the player count. So that's what we are going to do then. 2 times the player count. So we are going to go ahead and spawn 4. Put 1 on 4 and 1 on 3. Feel better about that, even if it's wrong. At least I make it harder, not easier. Okay. So now we move to the corruption phase. Grab our little corruption cards here. We'll start with the twins, who have 2 corruption, no hunger. Okay, on 0 to 8, heal 2 or lose 1 corruption. I have no reason to lose 1 corruption because if I drop him back to the lock, does that activate it? At the end of the corruption step, we shall. So I gotta wait for that. I think she might get a card. I think if you drop back to a lock, because it doesn't say ignoring locks. So she is going to drop 1 and gain a lock. Another rule I'm not sure about there. We're going to look that up too, guys. Look up a lot of rules here, guys. But I want to get it right. I don't, just like I didn't want to underpower them, I don't want to underpower myself either. All right, let's see what it says. You do not get to evolve. Given the corruption phase, if you lose a corruption land on a lock, Grimcoven, you lose a corruption land on a lock. You do not get to evolve. Okay, nice simple answer. So then there's no point to drop back then. Heal 2 or lose 1 corruption. All right, well, she's already maxed out. So it doesn't give you an option. I mean, I can't even heal 1. But I'm going to choose to heal 2, heal up to my max, and not lose a corruption. Okay, then at the end of the corruption step, which we are not at yet, I have to reshuffle this deck. Okay, now we are going to corrupt our keeper, who is on 5. He doesn't have any hunger yet, but he's on 5. He can move or gain a 2 shield. Any reason to move? Well, I actually do think there is. But you could make an argument for gaining a 2 shield because he is kind of in a bad spot. He now has the tornado behind him, the elite in front of him, a minion over there, and the grief bound right in front of him. That's a lot. And the twins are way over here. Now they do have a lot of minions around them, but at some point, I'm going to gain him his 2 shield. I just think at this point he is really surrounded. I think he's going to need it. And that's it. Put that on the bottom. And now we're going to shuffle up this deck. Just like it said at the end of the phase. Shuffle. All right. All right, that's good enough. Shuffle them up. Now we get to spend Lament. All right, so he's going to spend 2 to go up to lock 7. He gets to get 2 cards. Right now, I'm pretty satisfied with his dice. Okay, so he has Thirsty Sword, which is a passive ability. I love passive abilities. Whenever you gain a status token, you may gain the same number of hunger instead. Whenever you deal damage by resolving an effect of hunger, you may heal the amount of damage dealt. So there's some healing for him, but it has to be caused by hunger. And that's done during the corruption phase. But he also has Ram, which costs him either 2 daggers or 2 shields, or spend 2 sword pieces and stun this action. Choose 1 enemy and 0. Move you and the chosen enemy 3 spaces in a line, then resolve. If you use 2 daggers, deal 2 damage and 0. If you used 2 shields, gain a 4 shield. If you spent sword pieces, resolve both effects above. That's interesting. Potential to do 2 damage and gain a 4 shield and get some movement. You know, I think I'm going to go with this Thirsty Sword, because we're going to start trying to get him some hunger and start taking advantage of that. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. You have to remember that during the corruption phase or any time that I get hunger effects. All right, unfortunately for our twins, they did not gain any lament, so that's it for them. Refresh stage. All right, we're going to get our dice back. All right, get our little dice back over here. There should be a, there it is, a token that goes back over here. All right, and there is our dice back. Pass the first player token. Okay, each hunter may discard, so it's time to roll again. Grab a quick drink here. And let's roll some dice. Getting ready for round 3. All right, start with the first player, which is now the keeper. All right, the keeper's only situation he has now is he has 3 burn tokens. All right, couple of movement. That's nice. Couple of daggers. A shield and a magic. Okay, a nice little mix there. Let's see what the twins can roll. The twins really need to get hot here. They're not doing much. A couple daggers, a couple agility, a shield, and a magic. All right. So, my goal this round is to first off get that elite out of the game. He's only got 2 damage left and he's out. I want to get him out of the game. My second goal is for the twins to get some extra lament. There's 2 right behind her that are just nice and easy to get. This guy could probably kill this guy, and then maybe I could do the swap thing. Pick up those. Maybe get over there to that one. Get over here to this one. Pick up those. Kill that one, and pick up this one. That's kind of what I'm hoping to be able to accomplish with them. With the keeper, my only goal is to kill that elite. So he needs to move 2 spaces. That's a sprint. All right. Unless he has some other way to move, which is only one space for him. And he needs to move 2. Oh, I have to resolve this. Alright, cleanse. We're going to go ahead and use his magic to cleanse 2 burn. Let me take a look at this card real quick. Okay, so he's either going to spend 1, just discard this dice to get rid of one of those. Give me those back for a minute. He can spend 1 right away and get rid of one of those, and then take 2 damage. Or he can wait till the dice spin turn, take 3 damage, spin that. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and discard 1 dice. Go ahead and just knock off one of these. I know that's not the best. Take 2 damage and keep the 2 burn. Okay. So now we are back. Now we're all caught up. Okay, let's see. We know we might as well sprint. We know we have to. So let's go ahead and just get that out of the way. Move into that space with the elite. 1, 2. Okay. Now we need to do 2 damage. That's it. Just 2 damage. Let's see what we have. We've got 2 sword pieces, which is not enough. You need at least 4, so that's not an option. Deal 2 and 0. Here we go. But I need double magics. Or I can spin 2 sword pieces and stun this action. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to take this. We're going to spin our 2 sword pieces. Let's take y'all back to the board real quick. Spin his 2 sword pieces. Then he gets to stun that ability and deal 2 damage and 0. That 2 puts him at 6, which is what he has. That kills him, which gives 2 lament. Oh, he lost this lament, by the way. He's going to spin that to gain 1. Gain 2 lament. And so does twins. They gain 2 lament. All right. Backside. The hunter who killed the elite rolls 1 dice. All right. This is a critical roll, guys. I'm going to take you to the dice cam. Hope it's still working. I'm going to set this down so y'all can see it. I know there's a glare on there. Not the best. Cannot figure out where these glares are coming from. We're going to roll this dice. What are we looking for? We're looking for the rare. Oh, we got the common. So 2 tokens. Okay, the worst possible scenario. But it does keep him out for 2 rounds. Give us time to start focusing on the convergence. All right, so that's 2 actions. Now it's time to start figuring out the twins. All right, the twins have a lot that they want to do. I have to be careful with my movement because I want to back up 1 space. The shadow attacks in 0, so he has to move forward 2. So if we just move, if I spin this shield, because my damage is I'm going to need a double dagger and a dagger. And I could trade that double dagger in for double agility, but I don't want to do that. and I'll have a refresh ability. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to use, I'm thinking she doesn't need to cleanse. I'm going to use this to run. Just 3 spaces. Back her up 1 to gain these 2 lament. Once again, always forgetting to move back to the board. Alright, so she spent her 1 magic to back up 1 space and grab those 2 lament. He's going to take the other 2 spaces to move forward. Alright. That's 1 action. Okay, so now the shadow is going to spin this double dagger to do 2 damage and 1 poison and 0. We don't have to worry about the poison, but he's going to kill this guy. That does gain us lament. Now, he cannot pick up anything, so he does not get to pick up that lament, and that is their 2 turns. All right, now the keeper has some decisions to make. Oh, this guy's gone. He killed him. He has a lot of decisions to make. He's still kind of surrounded, but I also would like to start doing damage to the Convergence. We have to start taking out some of these cards. Now, the one that's getting ready to happen right now, let's take a look at it and see what we're dealing with. I don't think he's going to be able to do 5 to it, but move 2, okay. Attack all hunters in line of sight with 1 dice. Focus. Each hunter in 0 to 3 takes 1 damage for each burn they have. See, that's not good. He has 2 burn. And then deal 3 damage, deal 3 burn to each hunter in 0 to 3. That is not good. Not good at all. Alright, so in order to knock out the focus, he has to do 2 damage. Then we'll get the 3 burn. He's going to have a lot of burn on him. Alright, let me look at this. Hunger tokens instead. So he could turn those burn into hunger. So that might not be so bad. We're going to see if he can just do 2 damage and knock out the focus part. 2 damage. All right, let's see what we have. We already spent that, so that's not going to help us. We have no sword pieces, so this is not going to help us. We need to get at least 1. But I can get 1 if I can get this. Double daggers. Deal 1 damage and 0 to 1. On a kill, gain a sword. Nope, I got to get a kill. Not going to get a kill. So it's not going to give me a sword piece. But I have this appear. Take 1 damage, gain 1 sword piece. You may gain 1 hunger to gain another sword piece. That costs a dagger. So I think that's our option here. Use this dagger. Take 1 damage to gain a sword piece. Then I take 1 hunger to gain another sword piece. Alright, so that's 1 action. Now I no longer have the double daggers. I had to spin that up there. But I can spend any dice, spend 1 sword piece to do 1 damage and 0 to 1. But then I need a dagger for this, which is what that dagger would go for. So we're going to spend this agility and this sword piece to do 1 damage and 0 to 1. And I'm not going to worry about the kill part. So he's going to do 1 damage to this. Oh, to this. All right. So that's 2 actions. 2 actions, right? 1, 2. Yeah, so we've done 4. All right, so now we're back to the twins. All right, a couple things I want to do with the twins. I want to kill that guy with the assassin. She needs to be within 0 to 2. Which means she needs to move or sprint or find another way to move. Now, and then once she does do that, I want to have a sprint. Right, we're going to swap up something here. I want to split this with this one. In order to swap, she needs an agility and a magic. So there's that. So she can't spend those. She has a sword and an agility. Her attack is going to take the sword. So she has an agility. Now she can use it to sprint. Yeah, she needs to sprint anyway. No, she doesn't. She can move, but she can't try to use run. The 2 movement ain't going to get her, so she has to sprint. So she's going to spend this on sprint, which is going to allow her to move 4 spaces, which is going to be 1, 2, 3. Put her in this space. Spend her 1 dagger to do 1 damage in 0 to 2. Kill this guy. Well, there's no poison, so that gets rid of him. Gains her another lament. Man, I use up all my lament already? Alright, so let's get some out of the box then. Gets her another lament. And that's their 2 actions. Okay, so now we are over here. The keeper is going to spend this 1 dagger, and he can gain 1 sword piece or move and resolve. And he has to move. So he's going to move forward into the space with him and resolve. On 1 to 3 sword pieces, which he has 1, he can deal 1 damage and 0. So that will knock the focus off of that ability. And that's his 2 actions, right? No, that's his 1 action. Alright, all he has left is the shield. Now he has nothing to spend a shield on, and he has no tax. So he's going to spend this to gain a tactic. Alright, now we're over here. What we're going to do, spend this magic and this agility to swap places. Which will now allow her to pick up this lament. And because it was more than 3 spaces away, I can free up 1 action and re-roll 1 dice. So, what do I want to do? I think I want to sprint. So I'm going to free up sprint because I want to go through the portal. Start getting people over here because that's where he is. So I'm going to roll this dice and hope that we get an agility. And we got a shield. Not good. Not a good roll. Don't need a tactic. Can't cleanse. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to spin that tactic that we have to re-roll this dice. Got another shield. What a bad set of rolls. Alright, that's 2 turns. Go over to him. He has nothing left. He passes. Come back to. We're going to spin the shield on the tactic to get the tactic back. Okay, that is the hunter phase. Okay, let's go to the event phase. Living Flames. Oh, Convergence card again. Place one lament and one burn on each lament rift. Uh-oh. All right, well, she's going to pick those up. A burn and a lament. Oh, that's not a lament. All right, let's do this. So I did two. Let's do one. One burn and one lament on Rift 1. Does anybody see Rift 1? Right there. All right, we already did two. So now we need to find three. All right, the shadow cannot pick up. So that's good. All right, so now we need 4. Now we need 5. Now we need 6. Now we need 7. 7. And last but not least, 8. Okay. Okay, if you're fighting the Convergence, each hunter in 0 to 1 from a Lament Rift gain 2 burns. All right, well, that's 2 more burns. On to the twins. And another event down. One more turn down, guys. One more turn down. Okay. Minions. How many minions are on the board? 2. One there and one there. Okay, is there a hunter in 0 to 3? Yes for that one, no for that one. We'll do this one over here with yes. Moves 3 and attack all hunters in 0. 1, 2. Okay, with 2 dice. Alright, so he is going to take 2 damages and a stun. Yep, 2 damages and a stun. 1, 2, and a stun. He is going to put that on. Oh boy, this ability right here. I forgot about something, guys. He's not going to take this stun. He is going to take a hunger instead because of his passive ability. Whenever you gain a status token, you may gain the same number of hunger instead. So he's not going to take that stun. He's going to take a hunger instead. All right, and then the other minion, there is none within 3 because he ignores him. 1, 2, 3, almost though. Otherwise, run 3. 1, 2, 3. Gain a 2 shield. Deal 1 damage and 1 stun to each hunter in 0 to 1. Man. Alright, we are going to stun. Definitely can't stun cleanse. I need that. I'm going to stun tactics for right now. Alright, and that's the minion phase. There are no more minions, correct. Remove one of these from the elite. He is now done for that round. And we have to resolve this card. No, we had 2 damage on it, so I'm just going to put those in the pile. No focus event. Move 2. He does not need to move. He's already in the square. Attack all hunters in line of sight with 1 dice. With 1 dice, 1 dice, 1 dice. He gets the uncommon, which does nothing. Oh, wait. I didn't look at this. This is his attack. Yeah, it does nothing. Yep. So that was a break. Okay. Focus he doesn't get. And then deal 3 burns to each hunter in 0 to 3. He is going to take 3 hunger instead. 1, 2, 3. Alright. This goes into the discard pile. This moves over. And this one comes down. Alright, we got a nice easy 5 and a hard, another medium 6. Alright, this moves over to stage. First stage card. Okay, another thing to deal with. Let's see what it says. Tempest Wrath setup. Level up the Grief Bound and each elite enemy. Place this card near the event deck. Okay, so everybody levels up to level 2. That just made things a lot harder. Permanent event. This event cannot be discarded. Resolve it at the beginning of the event step. Activate each tornado. So from now on, whenever you do an event, the tornado is going to activate. Oh my goodness. And that is done. Oh my goodness, guys. We got a lot going on here. She's got about 8 lament, 3 burns. He's got 2 burns, 2 lament, a sword piece, 5 hunger. Oh boy, corruption phase, corruption. All right, the corruption phase kind of makes me nervous with this much corruption. I mean, this much hunger. All right, hunger, craving. Move 1 toward the closest space with a lament. For each hunger you have, take the lament if you reach it. Otherwise, take 1 damage for each hunger you have, and for each damage taken, discard 1 hunger. But luckily for him, he has 5. And he has 2. What was it again? Move 1 toward the closest space with a lament. Which I do believe is this one. 1, 2. I don't think anything's close. So he's also going to pick up this lament. And the burn, he has to pick it up. But, once again, he can transfer this or a hunger. I can't get one out. Okay, let me read the rest of this. Otherwise, so okay, he did it. So you don't have to worry about the otherwise part. Okay, then he is on 8. 6 to 14. You may gain 2 hunger to gain 1 lament. If you don't, gain 2. She's going to gain 2 hunger. 2 more hunger. If he ever finds a way to spend these hungers, he's going to be unstoppable to gain 1 lament. All right, so that's it for him. Corruption for our twins. She has no hunger, so don't have to worry about that part. And she is on 2, so she goes to 0-6. Lose 1 corruption or gain 1 tactic. All right, let's think about this. There's really no advantage to losing a corruption. I have what? 8. So either way, I can go up to 8 or I can go. So we might as well just lose 1. Yeah, I have no. Yeah, I already have a tactics. I can't have 2 of them. Really not sure what to do here, guys. I am going to go ahead and just drop the 1. Try and stay as low as possible, and then try and rocket up ahead. So that's what we're going to do. Because we're going to go ahead and move into the second phase for her as well. All right, it's time to spend. First player. He's going to spend 2 to move up to 10. All right, he gets 2 evolutionary cards here, guys. And I'm pretty sure this dice cam is shut off. So before I go to it, I'm going to turn it off and back on. And then I will show you what we got. Let's go to the dice cam. Right, these are the 2 we got, guys. He also has 2 more Lament, which he could get 2 different cards, which I may use here. Try and get something to use Hunger. I already see Ram already. We already looked at this card once. Let me see what this other one. Maybe this will do something. Charge Thrust. Either double daggers or an agility and spin a sword piece. Move in a line. Deal 1 damage to all. And I don't like either one of these cards. I'm going to spin one of these to get 2 different cards. All right, let's look at this first one. Another passive. When you take damage from an enemy, you may spend 1 sword piece to reduce this damage by 2. When you discard shields, oh, this is good. I like this too. All right, but here comes Demonic Charge. Double agility or any dice and a sword piece. Move 2 in a line. Deal 1 damage to all hunters and 1 enemy in 0. During this action, you may resolve any of the effects below. Spend 1 to deal 1 additional damage. Spend 1 to move 1. Spend 1 to target 1. Each of these effects only once. You know what? I think I'm going to take this parry, though. When you take damage from an enemy, you may spin a sword piece to reduce it by 2. When you discard a shield, you gain a sword piece. So we're going to take that passive ability. It's still not dealing with my hunger. Or helping me with hunger. And the other thing I'm going to do is try and control this a little bit. I'm going to spin this Lament to try and get rid of 1 of these hungers. I got so much. It's kind of scary. He's got so much hunger. Wish I had found a card to help me spend it. Okay, now here's the 1. This is the 1. 1, 2, 3. What we need? Yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. To gain. Wait a minute here. I am not going to back up 1. I'm going to spend 2. I can get a bunch of stuff. Take the tactic, not need it, and that would put me here. Because then I can spend 3 more, get me here, and then 3 more to get me here. So I could get 3 evolutions here. First one. All right, you guys still on the dice cam? Let me drop those down in here. All right. I would like to get 1 dice and 2 really good cards out of this. Shadowed Retreat for either 2 magic or a dagger and agility. If the shadow is 3+, which I try to stay, from the assassin, the shadow deals 2 damage in 0 to 1 and teleports to the assassin's space. Otherwise, the shadow does 1 poison and 0. That's okay. It's okay. Twins Cascade. 2 agility or 2 daggers. Deal 2 damage in 0 to 1. On a kill, The shadow may deal 1 and 0. If the shadow kills an enemy, repeat this action. Woo! Woo! It sounds amazing. And it says deal 2 damage. It doesn't say who deals it. And on a kill, the shadow can deal 1 damage and 0. If the shadow kills an enemy, repeat this action. A lot of potential damage, but once again, it looks like a minion killer. Because you're not going to do a lot of killing of the Convergence this way. I guess you could kill attack cards. Okay, let's look at the other one. Shadowed. Oh, we looked at Shadowed Retreat. You know what? I like both of them, but I think I'm going to take a dice. I'm going to take a dice. I wanted another dice. All right, what do I need? What do I need? Let's look at our dice here. 3 greens, a purple, and 2 blacks. I'm going to take a third black. Do I have a black out? Yep. I'm going to take a third black. All right. Then I'm going to spend 3 more to bump up to the next lock. Hope for something good. 3 quick stabs. Come on. And lethal momentum. Let's look at 3 quick stabs first. For a double agility or a dagger in a shield. Deal 1 to 3 different enemies and 0. If the shadow is 3+, you may instead target the same enemy 3 times. Now this is good. Because it doesn't say who has to be doing the damage. It doesn't say the assassin. And if the shadow is 3+ away from the assassin, I can do it. This is pretty good, guys. This is pretty good. But let's look at lethal momentum. For 2 daggers or a magic and a shield. Deal 2 damage and 0. Choose 1. Refresh 1 action. Restore 2 discarded dice. I'm going to take lethal momentum. A lot of potential with that. Put that on the bottom. It's a good card. A lot of potential, but I like this one. All right, then I'm going to spend my last 3 to bump up to the next lock, which is 10. Which I'm assuming is where he is. I'm going to have to double check the film to make sure he's at 10. I'll do that at some point. All right, we got a passive. The first passive is called Collecting. Collecting the bounty. On a minion or elite enemy kill, you may refresh 1 chosen action or 1 restored dice. On a grief-bound kill, refresh 1 chosen action and 1 restored dice. So this one's and, that was or. Then we got Shadow Dash. For a double agility or double magic. The shadow moves in a line. Doesn't say how far. Oh, moves. Does it for 3 spaces. Deals 1 damage and 0 for each space moved. If the shadow is 3+ from the assassin, you may. I think I'm going to take Shadow Dash. All right. This is good. We got some attack power now. All right, so they both have. She's gained 2 dice and 2 cards. So she's upgraded 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. He, I think, had to skip 1. So he should have. He's got 2 cards. He should have 1 less dice. Yes, I think he is on 10. All right. So he spent. Didn't he used 1 to get rid of some hunger. Refresh, pass the first player. And we got to roll dice. First player. All right, let's take y'all to the dice cam. We're already on the dice cam. Let me take you real quick. Let's just take you a look at the twins. This is the twins now. 2 cards, down to the first player. Let's take you to the keeper. Lots of tokens. These 2 cards. It is amazing how glary this thing is. Sleeves. I'm going to have to see if I can invest in some non-glare sleeves or something. I think the sleeves are the problem. All right, let's go back to the dice cam. Let's roll these dice. All right, guys, this is for the twins. All right, plenty of movement, plenty of daggers, and one magic, which she is going to probably get rid of the burn with, but we'll figure that out later when that time comes. All right, so now the keeper. All right, not a lot of movement, plenty of daggers, a shield, and two magic. Not the best of rolls for him. Okay, let me take y'all back to the main board before I forget. All right, so we're back to the twins. All right, we have a lot of stuff here. One thing that I know is I want to get the shadow onto the convergence. That I know. Okay, I'm going to look up something real quick before we start. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then we are going to continue on with the next round. Okay, guys, I wanted to look up the tornado because I had heard somewhere that the tornado cannot move through water. That is not correct. It cannot move through like deep water or through mountains, but there's no other rules about any other spaces. I'm also going to assume because it's not an enemy, it's considered a environment piece. It's not affected by the river's ability. It won't float down river. It can't heal anyway because it can't be damaged. So that's all I wanted to look up. I wanted to make sure we got that right. We got that right. So we're going to the twins. All right. My goal for the twins on this action. A, trying to kill this guy will be interesting because he's got a shield. But I also want to get the shadow through that portal and onto the convergence. So that's a sprint action for sure. We have to deal with these burns. I can either take 3 damage or 2 damage. I've seen no other way. So you know what? I'm just going to take the 3 damage. And then use this magic to get rid of 2 abilities. And for him, he is going to discard 1 to discard 1, take 1 damage, spend the other to discard 2 abilities. Alright. Spent a lot of dice. He's down to 4 dice. And they both have stun still on their board. She still has a burn and a stun. He just has, well, he has a lot of hunger, but we're not worried about that too much. He has a stun as well. So this ability is just out of the game until he gets rid of that stun. Okay. Like I said, this game is really, really challenging, guys. There's a lot of stuff going on. All right, we know we want to sprint, so that's easy. Finding a way to deal with that thing. Because we have to do 1 damage at least to knock off the shield. And then I got a lot of double things. I have no magic, so it has to be a double dagger. And I'd want to do this after I sprint so that the shadow can do some things. So what I may do is just go ahead and sprint. But I wanted to wait though, because I don't know if I want to. Well, she's going to have to go all the way that way. He's going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to get into the square, which is what he. So I'm going to go ahead and sprint. And all the movement is going to go to the shadow. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and get into this square with this minion and the convergence. All right. Now, I think I'm going to use. Let me take a look at this ability, which had to be a double movement. All right, this ability is not going to help right now. So it's going to be this one. It has to be the double dagger still. She can deal 2 damage in 0. So we're going to spin double daggers to do 2 damage. Oh, that's in 0, so that's not going to help. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let me take a look at this attack card. This is now a 8. Resolve special. He can knock that off. All tornadoes move 3. This is so tough. Moving 3. Moving 3. Moving tornadoes 3. We're going to come after him. Have to. I'm a little confused, guys, as to how to handle this. Did I not put the tokens on here, or did something happen to them? I cannot remember. I'll go back and look at the footage to see what happened to the stuff on 4. I could have swore I went through and was very careful with that. Unless somebody somehow got moved, and he hasn't even taken an action yet. Mm-mm-mm. Don't want to resolve the special. So I may just... If this thing had not have leveled up to level 2, this would be so much easier. I just feel like I'm not getting what I need. Because I'm free if I don't attack this card. I think I'm just going to knock the special off. He's going to do this. He's going to spin the double dagger, do 2 damage and 0, knock the focus off. That's all he's going to do. And then we are not going to focus on this card anymore. It's not accomplishing anything. We got the focus. It won't resolve the special. And then we can refresh one other action, which would either be sprint or cleanse. And then he can get the dice back. Can he get the dice back? No, he can't get the dice back. Deal 1 poison to 0. So we're going to start putting poison on this thing. And then he can deal 1 damage and 0. As much as I'd like to put the poison on him, I'm going to go ahead and put the 1 damage, but on this card. You know what? I'm going to take out this minion. All right. That's the twins' turn. All right. So now we're over here. The Keeper, who is exactly 1 space away from the Convergence. Haven't used my shields. I could have used those a couple times, but we'll use it now. For a double dagger, I can deal 1 and on a kill. Well, I'm not going to get a kill. That's one thing we're going to do. We're going to put this minion back on. Let him take that out and put that 1 damage onto the attack card. Then we're going to use his ability to spin double daggers to deal 1 and 0 to 1, and on a kill gain a sword piece. Let us get our second sword piece. And he's going to kill off this minion, which will change this lament from her to him. Alright, so that's 1 action. This whole card is now done. But he has no more real attacks. He doesn't want to take damage to gain a sword piece. He don't want to gain hunger. He's in an awkward position. He may have to spin the tactics. Because he has, the only thing he has is double shields. It's the only real ability he has other than move and sprint tactics. So he's going to sprint this tactics to reroll everything but the shield. I'm looking for a second shield. As much as I love to try to get a double shield on that blue, I have 1 shield. If I can get a second one, which I did not get. Sucks. Sucks. Ugh. Right, I'm going to spend this on tactics and get my tactics back. I'm going to count that as my second action. I'm going to re-roll this dice. I'm going to just go for it, probably re-roll both. It'll probably break my heart. But, yeah, he's in a really bad shape, guys. He has so little he can do. Wait a minute. Wait. I am not going to do that. I'm going to spend a sword piece, stun this ability, gain a 2 shield to bump this up to a 4 shield, and move 1. That's going to be my 2 moves. Now we're over here. We have a double agility. The shadow moves in a line, dealing 1 damage and 0 for each space move. If the shadow is 3 plus from the assassin, he may teleport to the assassin. I have no reason to do that. There's no reason to do that card. This card right now is totally blanked out. Alright. The shadow can spend this double agility to deal 2 damage and 1 poison and 0. 2 damage. We'll change this to 3. And 1 poison and 0. So now the Convergence has 2 poison on him. Okay. Then I'm going to spend 1 dagger to do 1 damage and 0 to 2 from the assassin and kill this guy. Oh, nope, he's got a shield. I'm going to do it anyway. Knock the shield off. That's their 2 actions. Okay, we don't have this tactic anymore. We've got a lot of stuns. But one thing I didn't think about, I can not take this stun and take a hunger instead. I just don't think that's the way that should work. I mean, it does say that. But because that would clear that ability, I don't think you could keep doing that. That would just be wrong. So I'm not going to let myself do that. It does say when I receive a status token that I can receive a hunger instead. I mean, it says I can do it. So I think I'm just going to do it. It says that I can do it, so I'm going to do it. I mean, you're still limited by your number of sword pieces. And at this point, there's no real reason to do that again. That's out. I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. So really, I'm stuck with my board. I do have this double dagger. So I can move 1. I can gain 1 sword piece, or I can move and deal 1 damage and 0. So I'm going to do the 1 damage and 0. Trying to organize this a little bit better. 1 damage and 0 and put it on him. That puts it up to 4. All right. We're going to spend I don't need to sprint. I don't need to run. I'm going to sprint this onto tactics. Count that as my turn. Get my tactics. Then come back over here. Now is where I think I'm going to try something. Oh, nope, I can't. Don't have the right dice. I was going to do the force, but it's got to be a magic or a shield. All I have is a agility. So I can move 2 or gain a 2 shield. So we're going to put this here and gain a 2 shield. All right. That's their 2 turns. Now we're going to come over here. We're going to spin the tactic. Why am I spinning the tactic? I don't need to gain another shield. I can't put it anywhere. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to assist. Put this here and give her the shield. Okay, and then he has no more dice. And he is going to pass. Now we can do this. The forest. I can spend a shield, which I have here. To gain 1 tactic and heal 1. So we're going to heal 1. And then I'm going to pass. Okay, another hunter round down. Not the best. We didn't gain the lament. I would love to have seen this game. We got what, 1 and none. A lot of lament on the board, but unfortunately a lot of burn as well. But I do have my stasis effects under control, other than the hunger. Okay. I think we have to resolve this. It's a permanent event. This event cannot be discarded. Resolve it at the beginning of the event step. Activate each tornado. What does that mean, activate each tornado? I guess you do the special. Activate all tornadoes. Attack all hunters 0 to 1 or move 2. So he's going to move 2. So that's it. That's all that does. Then we actually do an event, a real event. A dimension door. Each hunter may gain 1 stun to teleport to a chosen portal space. All right, guys. I need to find out about this because I'm actually considering sending her over there to getting us all on the same side of the board. So give me a minute to check that out, and then I will be right back. All right, guys. I figured out where it went. When he got knocked back, he took it. So my assassin is going to take a stun onto her run ability. And she is going to pop up over here. Now we can start really focusing on this convergence. All right, we're not fighting the Tormentor, so that is the end of that event. Now we have the minion phase. How many events do we have left? So I know how much time we have. 4 more turns. We have 4 turns to take this guy out. Yep, that's it. So we really, really, really need to start focusing on him. 4 more rounds of attacks, and if we don't defeat him, we are done. And we haven't even taken out 1 card yet. Now, I do think that on the end of this round, we will take that one out. It's already got 4 out of 6. But we'll see. Okay. If there's a hunter in 0 to 3. 1, 2, 3. No. Is he the only minion on the board right now? It looks like it. Move 3. 1, 2. Float down river. 3. And where did shield token go? No, he just had. Oh, she took it off. So he didn't have that anymore. All right, so that's where he ends up. And that is their turn. Okay, the rest of his turn. Oh, gain a 2 shield. Now he's going to gain a 2 shield, so he is going to get 1. Deal 1 damage to anybody 0 to 1. Nobody. All right, so that's it for them. Another token down. So we will be dealing with the elite in another turn. Trying to get some of these tokens a little bit more organized. All right. So now we move up to the Griefbound himself. All right. So on this particular card, we get everything but the focus. The focus is knocked off, so I'm just going to put these damage tokens up here, knowing that the focus is gone. All tornadoes move 3. Okay, well, he is going to move into this space, which is going to knock him out. You only allow 4 models, and the tornado does count as a model. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that knocked the shadow out. Okay. And then deal 3 damage to each hunter in 0 to 1 from the Griefbound or a tornado. How much? 0 to 1. So it's only going to be him, and it's 3 damage. He is going to spend his 4 shield to take none of it. And then resolve the special. Which is unfortunate, because I think he's going to take a damage anyway now. Attack all hunters in 0 to 1 with 3 dice, and then move 2. 3 dice. 0 to 1, he does not need to move. And we have 2 commons and 1 uncommon. So that's going to give him 2 damage. And that is it. And then it would be Resolve Special again, but because we knocked that off, that goes away. This slides over with its 4 damage. And we get a new card. Alright, we cut a little bit of a break, and that both of these have 6. So the real question is, can I do 8 points of damage on this turn? Knock out both of those cards, which is really what I want to do. Okay, so then we go up to step 5, which is special. So he's going to do the special again. He's going to attack him again. 3 dice. And 2 more damage. Exact same roll. He is down to 1 hit point. Not good, guys. Not good, not good, not good. And that's it. Let's go to the cleanup phase here, where we go through and do all our stuff. Corruption. We get to do the corruption phase. Now, this could be a little bit risky, because like I said, he has a lot of hunger. And I know hunger can drive him toward, and now that she's right there, but she's first. So let's see what she gets. Hunger. She has no hunger, so she doesn't have to worry about that. She is on 10, so she drops to this. Gain 1 lament and 1 hunger. You may take 2 unblockable damage to move. Now we're going to take the hunger and the lament. Because I see no reason for her to move. Yeah, she definitely doesn't want to take the damage just to move. So we're going to end that there. Okay, and now the tricky one. I could catch a real big break here if he could do some damage. Boom. Carnivorous. Yep, here it goes, guys. Move 1 toward the closest hunter. For each hunger you have, deal 1 damage. Oh, that's just it. Move 1 to each hunger you have. So that's easy. He's going to get in her space. Okay. Deal 1 damage to all hunters and 0. For each hunger you have, for each damage dealt, discard 1 hunger. So he is going to kill her because he has, how much damage does she have? 6. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that knocks her down to 0. There's 0 on here. Right there. And that's it. Now we got to do the critical injury thing. Anybody remember the critical injury card number? It should be on here. Critical injuries. Secret card 2. All right. Not what I wanted to see. And like I said, I've been avoiding that. There's only 3 of these. So let's mix these up real quick. All right, this one will work. Let's put the rest of this back. There's a very good chance we'll use up 2 of them because he's at 1. Critical injury. Place this card next to your hunter board. As long as you have this card, you ignore all negative effects. At the beginning of the event save, at the beginning of the event phase resolve. Right, so she gets to get rid of all her negative effects. She gets rid of her burn, gets rid of her hunger, gets rid of her 2 stuns. And she can no longer be attacked. She can no longer have negative effects. So that's pretty good. Okay. Now, in order for her not to die at the end of this turn, before the event step, there has to be no minions on the map, or have at least 6 lament on your character board, or if the final attack card is revealed. If then you heal 5, remove this card. Otherwise, scenario is lost. So right now, that's not too bad. It means we have to kill this guy. He becomes a primary target, which sucks, because I really wanted to focus on the Convergence. And he has a shield, but it's what it is. Okay, so that was the corruption phase. It's going to spend 1 lament to go up 1 space. Also going to spend 1 lament to go up 1 space. So we didn't even get no activations, no upgrades. All right. Pass the first player token. Refresh all dice. Where is that purple one? There it is. Okay. Roll dice. All right. The only ability he has right now is he has a stun on one of his sword abilities. You know what he really needs? He has no active abilities. I really need to get him an active ability. These are both passive. Might be a mistake that I made. I'll have to remember that. All right, he's going to spin this 1 magic to get rid of the stun. Wait, is that how that works? Yeah, 1 status effect. Get rid of this stun. All right. Then he has no movement, which may not be too bad. He does have his double shields. All right. Let's see. This is the twins. All right. She has no effects to worry about. She's got another shield. 2 daggers. All right. Okay, we know we got to take out that minion. I'm kind of leaving that up to the shadow, even though he does not want to step into that water. I do not want to float one downstream. I do not want to pick up a curse. Oh, she can't be cursed. So it might not be so bad. Okay, so that's good. But it is the keeper's turn. And he has no movement. Well, he can run. But the problem with run is it won't get him where he needs to be. He has his big card up now. But it requires him to be with 0. And he has to have double magic, which he doesn't have, or 2 sword pieces, which he doesn't have. Now, for a stagger, he can gain a sword piece, which will give him his 2. But then he still has to get within 0. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend 1 dagger to gain 1 sword piece. We're going to spend double shields to gain a 2 shield and move 1. Okay, that's his turn. Now it's over to the creme de la creme, the crop here. They really have to kill that minion, that is no doubt. It's all going to fall on the shadow. Now, the shadow has the ability to do a lot of damage. All right, so he unfortunately is going to have to run or sprint. I'm going to, I think, run because I don't think he's going to go 1. Now, she can't be cursed. Where's the river card? Let me double check it. Why are these things sticking together? These are some of the worst card covers. Yeah. Yeah, she would gain 2 curses, but I can't be cursed. We would move 1 down river. Then I have to move 1 back up. So that would be 1, 2. The question is, where does the assassin want to be? Within 0, or does she want to be within 1? She's got 0 to 2 there. And that ability is going to be gone because that's the one he's going to use. But I think she does want to be in 0. So we're going to sprint. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You all want to do that? I think, I don't know. Because he's going to spend a magic and an agility to deal 2 and 0. I can throw the shield. Then he can refresh 1 other action. And then deal 1 damage and 0. So that will take him out. Alright. That's their 2 turns. Okay. Alright, so we saved ourselves. As long as no other minions spawn onto the board. Alright. So all he has is double daggers. Now he does have 2 sword pieces. Alright. He is going to spin his 2 sword pieces. Put a stun on that action. And deal 2 damage and... Oh man, he can't. He's not within 0. God. Alright, so he's going to have to spin this to run. Push the tornado out. Then spin the 2 sword pieces. Put the stun on this action. And deal 2 and 0. Alright, so that puts 2 onto that card. Alright, so that puts it at 6. Oh, that kills it. All right. So let's take a look. This card is now destroyed. We got one card out of the game. Okay. On a grief card kill, roll one dice. All right. Let's see what we want here. If I can roll the rare, all hunters in 0 to 2 may move 2 and heal 2. Refill the attack track, which I don't really want that. On the uncommon, I can just not refill the attack track. On the common, all hunters in 0 to 2 may move 1 or refresh one chosen action. Refill the attack track. Well, I guess. No, let's just see what we roll. It doesn't matter what we want. We're going to get what we get. We get the common. All hunters in 0 to 2. That's just both of them. May move or refresh a chosen action. May move. May move what? May move 1. Or refresh a chosen action. We might refresh this chosen action. He, on the other hand, he has a dagger. He can refresh this action. But he has no sword pieces. But he can use that to gain a sword piece, at least. Okay, and then refill the attack track. So unfortunately, it's going to move this over and give us this card. Oh, it's empty, so we now have to shuffle these up. Give them a little shuffle. And then put them down. We'll deal with that later. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with on this card. For focus, hunters in 0 to 2 from each tornado teleport to the closest space with a tornado. Attack all hunters on the map with 2 dice. Resolve only the uncommon. Only this part of the uncommon. Alright, well, we'll worry about that in a minute. Alright. So, is that his turn? He has no other... Oh, he has the dagger. What did he do there? I can't even remember. Who killed it? Oh, I'm so lost. Had to have been him. Yeah, I am like total lost at what just happened here, guys. Alright, let me go check the footage. I'll be right back again, guys. Hold on. Okay, so basically it was the keeper who killed this card. So we both get 1 lament. And that was his first action. Alright, so he has a second action. All he has is a dagger. Okay, let's see what his top action of his... Oh, no, I know what that is. He doesn't want to do that. He can't do that. He has a tactic. But he refreshed to this action. He can use this here now. But he has no sword pieces. But what we're going to do is we're going to put this here to gain a sword piece. Get a sword piece going. That will be his 2 actions. All right, that might be it for him. But if we come over here to our twins, we still have 4 dice. And we opened up our main card, which takes double daggers. And I might go this route. It just seems like the smart thing to do. All right, I don't have double agility, so I couldn't do that even if I wanted to. So this just seems like the smartest thing to do. Now he can go, the only way he can go is double daggers. That's what we're going to do. We're going to spin these double daggers. And the assassin, well, hold on. What we're going to do is I need to get this, I can't, well, I can knock the keeper out of the square. Because I need him in the square as well to do all of this. So we're going to spin this to move. Run, I mean. You don't need to sprint. There's no reason to sprint. I mean, it doesn't matter if I did either way. But then he can go 1, 2, get into the square, push him back. Then spin the double daggers. Now deal 2 damage and 0. That will take the focus ability off of that. Now comes the good part. I can refresh one other action, which I don't really need to do. Restore 2 discarded dice. That's good because I have 3 discarded dice. A black and 2 greens. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to get these 2 dice back. Not a good roll. A shield and a dagger. So we got double shields and a dagger. Might be spending those tactic on those shields. And then the shadow could deal 1 damage, which I guess I could put it on the next attack card. Because I really have nothing that's taking advantage of the poison right now. So that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take that 1 damage and put it on to the next attack card. Start working ahead. And that will be that. That will take that out. So that's 2 turns. Alright. Unfortunately, the keeper has nothing. No dice. No nothing. So we're back to the twins who now have 3 dice. She's going to spend her tactic. Now, I do like the dagger. And if I can get a dagger and a double move, the shadow could deal 2 and 1 poison and 0. So we're going to roll these 2. And we got a single move and a dagger. Alright, so what do we want to do? I can use the double dagger to do 2 damage onto this. You know what? We're not even going to do this. We're going to put all this damage. No, wait. 3. That's only 5. I'm 1 damage short. Should I put all this damage over there? Is there a way that I can do 1 more damage with just that? I just don't think there is. We're one short of being able to knock out one more card. And I see no way of getting it. No way of getting discarded dice. No way, no way, no way, no way. So we're going to instead spin this here and turn this 2 into a 4. That's all I could think to do. I see he already passed. She has to pass. And we have another hunter phase down. My biggest issue now, before we even go into this, is the fact that all the heroes are just so clumped up. And we have to deal with this terrible little event. Activate a tornado. It's always going to be activate the tornado. But, attack all hunters 0 to 1 with 3 and then move 2. 0 to 1, or both in 0 to 1 with 3 and then move 2. He's going to move to the most corrupted, which are the same. Well, she can't take damage, so there's no need to roll for her. Oh, this is the beginning of the... What's the curse say? Or the critical? At the beginning of the event step. Heal 5, remove this card. So she is back into the game now. So she can be attacked. She's going to be knocked right back out. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and do Keeper first. He's going to get... I think we're done here, guys. I think we're going to lose. Got... Yeah, that's it. He's down. Now he drops out. So now he loses all negative effects. This. He gets the next number 2. I've already shuffled these, so we're just going to take the number 2 one. First one we find. There it is. Critical injury. Face this card. Yeah. It's the same basic thing. So now he... Luckily, there are no minions. But now, we're going to attack. Alright, she takes 2 damage and a burn. Right back down to 3. And a burn. And that was just that part. That ain't even the event. Iron Skin. It's for the graveyard show. Place 1 lament and 8. Where's 8? Oh, up there. Griefbound gains a 2 shield. Oh my god. Where is his shield spot? Does he have one? I thought they said there was shield spots on the cards that they could have one. Oh, there it is. For each hunter in line of sight, we can only have one. So each enemy in line 1 to 1 gains a 2 shield. There are none, so that's it. I'm not fighting the graveyard dragon, so that's that. Alright, guys, so we only have, what, 3 events left? Yep. Minions, there are none. And guess who comes back onto the board? Yeah, I think we're pretty doomed here. Let's see what the Convergence is going to do. All right, we can get rid of these two. We just don't get to do the focus event. All right, so skip that. Attack all hunters on the map with 2 dice and resolve only the uncommon. Then I got to resolve a special. Are you kidding me? All right, well, we'll start with the closest, which is the twins. All right, she takes nothing. He can't take damage, so there's no point. But you do move 2 toward the closest. So let's see. All right, he does nothing either. And then I got to resolve a special. Discard that. Move that over. And the special. All right. Attack all hunters with 3 dice and move 2. All right. Well, the closest this time, he can't take damage, so it doesn't matter. So we're just going to attack the twins for 1 damage. Right back down to 2, guys. Okay. Then we go over here to spawn. So we got to spawn 4 monsters. Gonna make this a lot harder. 2, 1, 3, and 4. We are in a lot of trouble, guys. Because in order to resolve this, he either has to have 6 lament, no minions, or be on the final attack. I pretty much think we lost, guys. Pretty much think we lost. Now, there is a lot of lament on the board, but can I get him 6? Well, we're not there yet. Spawn to us. Deal with corruption, and let's just see where we go. Oh, this is tough. This is a brutal game. This is... Okay, he has no hunger, so we don't have to worry about that. He's on 11. You may gain 2 hunger to heal 2. So he's going to gain 2 hunger, which you can't get, and he's going to heal 2. All right, then she is also on 11. With, does she have hunger? No, she has a burn. Look at this. You may deal 2 unblockable damage to 100 and 0 to gain 1 lament. If you don't, gain 2 hunger. Well, she said no choice but to gain 2 hunger. And that's it. All right, well, that wasn't terrible. But like I said, we got 1 hunter. The both hunters are at 2 hit points, and we have 1 more critical injury card. We're not even close to getting to the final attack. We've got the elite on the board. We got 4 minions on the board. We're all bunched up with the tornado. Trying to think what we could have done different. Maybe try to attack the Griefbound down here. Let the tornado work its way down. And try to avoid the tornado, because the tornado was, I think, really not helping. But, okay, we're not there yet. It's time to spend Lament. He only has 1. It's going to take him to 12. And that is really all he can do. She has 2. bring her up to the next phase. All right, well, we need a good card here. Notice I haven't had any opportunity to remove poison to finish their quest. You know, he did do his quest. He did have 6 lament. No. Did he? That was her that had all the lament. I'll have to check to see if he ever had 6. We have poison strike. Well, we got 2 poison strikes. Once again, deal 1 damage and 2 poison and 0 to 1. If I had a way to take advantage of poison, and I don't see any. I just don't need this. I need the dice. Oh, question is, what kind of dice do I need? All right, let me put the dice in here just for me to get a look at. And still don't have any reason to go for a blue. I don't have anything that uses shields. Got a lot of movement. I do have some magic, but only 3. And there are 2 of these double. I think I'm going to go with the movement ability. I'm going to go with the green. Do I have a green out? No. Let's get a green. Let's get a green. All right. Pass the first player token. And all special abilities. You know, I probably could have used that shield to avoid some of this damage. I'll have to remember that. Because she had a 4. She could have just kept. He could have done 7. And I could have took 3. I had 6. I could still have been 3. Wouldn't have killed. I don't know. Did I have the 4 at the time, though? I don't think I did. It doesn't matter. It's past that now. We're going to roll. All this, and I roll this crap. 2 daggers. Bunch of magic. I'm immediately going to spend 1 magic to discard this burn. I cannot afford to take the damage. I'm not going to worry about the hunger. And we're going to go ahead and roll for the keeper. 2 daggers, a double shield, triple magics, and another shield. Man, my rolls are definitely not helping. All right. The first things first. Right now, we're both in the same spot. Oh, man, I don't know what we're going to do, guys. In order to keep from losing this game, we have to get 6 lament onto the keeper. Because we're not going to be able to knock out these 4 minions. They're too far apart. We're not going to get on the final attack card. So if I can take that one out, I'll get the start going. So let's see. How much is the lament for this? 2 and 1. So I really want him to land the killing blow. So I'd like to do 2 damage to it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to spend one of these magics and an agility to do 2 damage and 0. Then I'm going to put 2 poison tokens for the other 2 abilities onto the Convergence. Alright, now what? I don't think that we can do 8. But even if I could take out that card and take out the elite, that would only be 4 out of the 6 he needs. And I don't know if I can do that much damage. I know we can get the 1 more. Now the next question is, can, between the 3 of us get 8 more damage onto that elite? Is there any... No, there's none there. He has to move 2 spaces to get to that one. He won't have to worry about the burn because he can't take that. But he can get that to Lament. But I also need him to move... Can he attack something in 0 to 1? Yeah. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to just see if we can take out this elite. We're going to sprint and go 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 4. And we're going to knock this minion here. And we're going to get in the square with this guy. And we're going to do everything we can to try and take him out. That's our 2 moves. Now, the keeper is going to spin double daggers to deal 1 and 0 to 1 and on a kill gain a sword. So he's going to kill this. He gets to gain a sword piece. He gets to get 2 Lament. And the twins get 1. So this just pieces now out of the game. And then we're back to this. And I really need the uncommon. I need to not refill the attack track. That, or even the rare would be nice. Get the heal 2. Come on, cocked. Come on. Cocked again. There we go. And we get the uncommon. Do not refill the attack track. Nice. It would have been nice to get the uncommon. All hunters in 0 to 2 could have moved 2 and healed 2. We could all heal 2. But not refilling the attack track is nice. So that means he is not going to attack this round. So that's a good thing. So now what he's going to do, and I didn't even think about this, unfortunately, is he is going to spend his tack to reroll this green dice and both of these dice. He's really needs an agility. Got it. Unfortunately, he got 2 magics again, but he got the agility. All right, we are... It doesn't matter. I'm not going to... You don't have to count the tactics. So he's just going to sprint 2 spaces. And go 1, 2. He doesn't have to take the burn. He doesn't take them, so that goes away. But he gets the 2 Lament. All right. Back to the twins. Okay, this falls heavily on the twins. We need 2 more Lament, which is 8 damage. All right. That is just a great ability, but it's not going to help us. So I got to see if we can even do 8 damage. Nope, that's not going to help us. Card's not going to help us. So this is the only real card we have. And I only see 1, 2, 3 damage out of 8. 3 damage out of 8. Three damage out of 8. And I don't even know if I have the cards to do it. I don't. Oh yeah, I do. Dagger and a double agility. Moving it 2 spaces isn't going to help. I really only see one way that I can possibly do this. And that's to recharge this ability. And then if I do that, I need double daggers. Or this. I need one combination of those. And the only way that I can recharge that ability is with this, which costs me this. So I use that for that, that for that. In order to use this and get that, I need to run. In order to run, I can use any dice. I'm going to have to get a dice from him. So that's kind of the plan. But would that be enough damage? All right. Though, because even then, that's only 3, 4 damage. It's still only 4 damage. It's still only half. I only see 7 damage, guys. And even then, I can't pull it off. All right, so maybe we may do a little backup here. Instead of putting this sprint, leave them here. It's our only real chance. Now I look at it. Because this only has 6. I still don't think I can get 6. All right, well, we're not going to undo it because we already did it and I don't feel like backing it up. All right. The Shadow is going to do 2 damage and 1 poison to the elite. And then she could do another damage to make it 3. And that's their turn. He is going to spend one of his magics to run 1 space, and he's going to check out this treasure chest. It's his real only hope. All right. Let's see what we get. Heal 4. You can gain 1 lament. Each hunter heals 2. All right. Well, we put ourselves in a very interesting situation. I think we can pull this off. He needs to be very careful. Oh, he can't move. He has no movement left. Oh, we messed up so bad. If I had planned this differently, because he has to get at least 2 spaces. Oh wait, he has this. That only moves him 1 though. All right. The double shield, he can move 1. He doesn't have the dagger to move that, but I can give him this dagger to move that. And then he could do this. Okay, we might be able to pull this off, guys. With the double dagger, which would be his second move, he can gain a 2 shield. Let's make him a 4. He can move 1, and that's his 2 turn. All right, then we are going to assist with a dagger. And that leaves us with this. We're going to cleanse to get rid of these 2 hunger. Can cleanse take out hunger? Let me make sure cleanse can take out hunger before I do that. I think I remember hunger being hard to get rid of. I could be wrong about the cleanse ability. Is there a table of contents in this thing? Oh, come on, come on, come on. Cleanse. It says up to 2. It doesn't say you can't do cleanse. It does not say that. It says 2 status tokens. Trying to look something on hunger. Hunger. Hunger is not a status. So, nope, you can't do it. Okay, so that won't work. So you could get a tactic for later. Or we could run. Question is, where would we run to? What would be the point? Now we could go and we could activate. No, the shadow can't do that. I think we're going to take a chance. We're going to put this in run. I'm going to move her down here and talk to the witch. Is that how many turns is that? That's 2. So he'll talk to the witch on the next turn. All right. So now that I want the shadow to move, I moved, so I have 2 movements left. I am going to move. 1, 2. Get some distance between those 2. All right. Now, he is going to spin this dagger. Oh, it didn't work, guys, because it's within 0. It's not going to work. He has to find another way to move. And all he has... sucks. All right. Can't do that. That ain't going to help him. Both those are used. I think we lost. Because he can move, but he can only move 1. Then he could do on a 1 to 3 sword pieces, deal 1 and 0, which would have killed that minion. But unfortunately, that's game, guys. That is game. And we lost. We lost. I don't even think we got close, to be honest with you. We still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attack cards. We have 5 attack cards still to go. We had 3 more turns before we lost some turns. The keeper was at 4 hit points. The twins are at 4 hit points. So, guys, tell me what you think I did wrong. What do you think I could have done better? Give me some different strategies. Well, looking at the game, here's what I see. I think what I should have done was tried to attack this river really bothered me so much. I tried to stay out of it. Maybe I shouldn't have. Tried to pull the Convergence over here. With the shadows moving, the twins moving so fast, maybe here's what I should have done. Put the keeper here and brought him this way to draw the Convergence over. Put the assassin here, moved her up a little bit, pulled the shadow this way. Then later on, teleport her through that portal, pop up here. Try to take out the Convergence here while the shadow was up in that corner. Not the shadow, the tornado. Maybe that's what I should have done. So what we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to pack this up, call it a game. Good try, a lot of learning. It's definitely a challenge, guys. I thought this would be the easiest scenario, and I don't think I did very well. But we are going to give this another shot. I think I'm going to try this scenario. I might change out the hunters, try something different. But I'll let you know. We're going to do this scenario again, so I don't have to change out much. The only thing I might change out is the hunters. Keep the elite. That way I can get into this pretty quick. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And we'll give this another shot.